Everyone, this is Don Anders with Anders Retirement, and I'm very excited to announce our brand new Florida Retirement System Roadmap. And what this is a combination of retirement planning software that's been out there for a while and my over 14 years of experience in the FRS. And a lot of you know that for the Florida Retirement System, this is kind of what I've been focused on my entire career, working with people in DROP, working with people in the investment plan, working with people retiring from the Florida retirement system. So what I did was I took my knowledge of the FRS and I went to a software company that did financial planning software. And I said, listen, all the financial planning software I've used in the past, I've liked, I've enjoyed, but what I really want is something that is specific to my clients and specific to the FRS. And with that, we created the Florida Retirement System Roadmap, which is unique and proprietary to my firm, Anders Retirement and Investment Advisors. So I want to go over that. I want to show you what it looks like. If you're currently a client of ours and you're in the FRS, we can create one of these for you if you like, and using your plan that we put together. If you're not, let's say you're in DROP, or let's say you're about to retire, let's say you're just in the FRS in general, we can create this for you at no charge. We don't cost anything to create it for you. We'll put it together. And from there, if you want to use our services, we're here. If not, at least you have a defined roadmap moving forward. Because one of the biggest problems that I've seen in the FRS is a lot of people just have accounts, right? I have this 403B, I have this 457, this deferred comp, I have my drop money. They have these different accounts, but they don't really have a concise plan, which is not okay. And even though we put together concise plans, a lot of times our clients are like, okay, well, we have to keep going back to you for this. Well, this way you have it in your hands, and you have we call it the roadmap, a roadmap that'll get you all the way to and through retirement. Okay, so let me go through it. All right, so first one, this is a little sample to kind of show you what it entails. The very first thing we do is we talk about the 5 needs of money. If you met with us or seen any of our videos or our content, the 5 needs of money is basically a way to figure out what you do and do not want in retirement. Some people, the most important thing is to leave money to their beneficiaries. Other people, the most important thing is to not lose anything. Well, the very first thing we do with you is the 5 needs of money. So you can continually go back and see, okay, well, what's my priority? Okay, I want to make sure I'm not losing money, or I want to make sure I'm getting income, or I want to make sure I'm giving, money to my beneficiaries. And from there, we customize these 5 needs based on what you want. Okay, and that's up here first. Then this is kind of the syllabus. It goes over what's going to be talked about, the 5 different types of planning that we have in here, because it's not just about investments and it's not just about income. Taxes are a huge thing. Insurance, health insurance, leaving money to beneficiaries. Those are all big things that need to be in here and need to be in good order. Okay. So the very first thing we do is an overview. So an overview, what's your total asset value? How much of that's qualified? How much of that's taxable? How much of that's tax-free? How much is at risk? How much of it's safe? How much of it's safe? So we give you kind of an overview here, so you can look there. We put in your goals, your concerns, based on that. Then we go down. Then the next thing's income, right? So income is probably the most important part of retirement. You don't have enough income, you're not going to be able to retire, period. If you can't pay your bills, you're not retiring. So because of that, income plan's the next. And what we do over here is we put all of your income in. We do some estimated taxes. Now, remember, taxes change, and they will change throughout your retirement, but we estimate it. And then you'll have either a surplus or a shortfall. For a lot of people that are not retired yet, this is one of the biggest things that they want to talk about. Am I going to be okay from an income perspective? Am I going to have as much money retired as I am working? And that's something that we can show you. And if you are short, like in this illustration, we can show you using your investments how we can make that up. And we can come up with an income plan that will fill this out. So for instance, like this person, they would come in, we weren't working with them, we'd fill it out, show them where they are. And then if they want, we could put together a plan that is concise, that will have them making as much or more money retired as they were working. The next is investment plan. So a lot of times people, they have all these different accounts. I've met with people who have 15, 20 different accounts in all these different places, that they've set up from these 403B agents who sit in their lounge, or maybe they have accounts that they used to love, but now are not accepted, or they've inherited money from relatives or things like that. And they just kind of have all these pots sitting around. So we can put it all in there to kind of give you an overview. How much is in drop? How much are in IRAs? How much is going to be there for cash? And how much of it's tax-free? How much of it's taxable? We give you that overview with this investment plan page. We don't overcomplicate it. You still have your different accounts and everything else. But the nice thing is just knowing, being able to pull this plan open and see, oh, okay, yeah, I have $300,000 in my 403B. By the way, don't be intimidated by these numbers. We work with, we don't have any kind of asset minimums. I believe in treating somebody with 10,000 the same as somebody with 10 million. But I just have this on here because $1 million was a nice round number. So, and I just worked it off of that and made up numbers. Okay. The next part is a tax plan. So a lot of times people retire and they don't really think about this. But for most of you, taxes are going to be the biggest expense in retirement. I'll say that again. Taxes will be the biggest expense for a lot of you in retirement. And taxes could go up in the future. We don't know. And if all of your money is taxable, right? Your pension, your drop, your 403B, your 457, your Social Security, if all of that is taxable and taxes go up by 20% in the future, we have an issue. You just lost 20% of your income or 20% of your money to the IRS. So having a tax plan is good. Now, for a lot of you, it's just are things in the right place? And we come up with a strategy, and we let you know what is and isn't, and we go from there. Healthcare plan. Do you have a plan for healthcare after you retire? Are you planning on continuing on with your employer plan? Are you going to go on Medicare? Are you even eligible for Medicare? Those are all things that we put on there. Down the road, do you need long-term care? Is that a concern for you? We talk to some people and they go, I know I'm going to be in long-term care. Everybody in my family end up in some type of long-term care. Well, we need to address that, right? Just hoping that it doesn't happen is not a plan. We can help you address that with here in good order and not. And our goal, if you work with us, is to have all these things in good order within a year or so after retirement, preferably even before. Okay. Next, legacy plan. Do you have your beneficiaries up to date? Do you have a trust set up if things are a little bit more complicated? Do you have a will and last testament? Last year, unfortunately, with COVID and everything, we had a lot of clients and family members of clients pass away. And there were certain situations where people were on their deathbed, they couldn't speak, and their family couldn't speak with us because they didn't have a durable power of attorney set up so they could speak when things are going bad. Do you have that set up? If not, we can point you in the right direction. We can make sure, we can help hold your hand there. And we can make sure all that's set up, because once again, hoping that something doesn't happen is not a plan. It's a retirement hope. Now, here's something that is very, very unique. So all those other things, you might have noticed FRS Drop, you might have noticed COLA in there. We customize this to the FRS. This is very FRS specific. If you're not in the FRS, you're probably looking at these things and saying, well, I don't know what half that stuff means. But this is very FRS specific. Here's the other thing that's very FRS specific, the timetable. So we have, what I've found is throughout retirement, there's a bunch of milestones, right? When you enter drop, when you exit drop, when you have to submit the forms, when you go file for Social Security, when you file for Medicare, when you go on, for when you have to take out your required minimum distributions. Those are all things that throughout retirement are major milestones. And if you miss them, it could be, it could cost you thousands, tens of thousands of dollars. And the problem is, some of you, maybe you're retiring at, 58 and you have to take your RMDs at 72 and that's 14 years down the line. How are you going to remember that? Well, the timetable on here gives it. So if you just go, when we do our annual reviews or you do it with yourself, you can go in and look at that timetable every single year and take a look and see, okay, well, is there anything I have to do today? Now, the other thing that we do is if you work with us, we will put all of these timetables, so everything on here, as a task on our calendar, our system. So we know that for Jane Doe in, November 25th, 2022, we need to make sure that Jane Doe's health insurance subsidy is submitted, or else she's going to lose out on $150 per year of service. Or we're going to go in and in March 12th of 2016, Jane Doe's eligible for Social Security. Well, we have to make sure that they, help sign up for Social Security. And 2029, I think I messed this up a little bit, but 2029, they eligible for Medicare. So we need to make sure that's on there. Well, all the way 2033, which, in 2021, 2022 sounds like a long ways away, but that is making sure that, RMDs are taken. That needs to be done. And so we will be there to kind of remind you, or this will be there to remind you. And in this, we also have 2039, their home will be paid off. So this is really important, because if you don't have a timeline, you're kind of left like, okay, well, I guess down the road, I have to do this or this. No, we know on this date, we have to turn on the RMDs for this, and we have to get it done correctly, or else, a lot of if you miss your required minimum distributions in 2033, is a 50% tax penalty. 50, not 15, 50% tax penalty of anything you didn't take out. They take half of it. So we want to make sure that happens, right? I don't care how much interest you're earning. If the IRS is taking half of your money, that's a big issue. So all this on here, this is the FRS blueprint. And so what I encourage you to do, whether you're a current client, whether you are, working, whether you're in drop, whatever else, if you're part of the Florida retirement system, we will get you your own private copy of this, your own customized copy with all of your information, everything else for you. We aren't going to charge anything for it. Does take some of our time to set up. I've trained my team how to set it up, but I want to make sure that everyone in the FRS has one of these, because I think it's vital. This is something that people in the Florida retirement system have not had ever. In other industries and other places they have, but there hasn't been something that's specific to the FRS. So if you'd like to get your own copy of the FRS blueprint, FRS Roadmap, go ahead and click the link below. That will take you to our calendar. We'll set up a time. It's an intake form. It takes about 30 minutes for us to get everything kind of an intake form. And then from there, we can build out your own personalized FRS blueprint. And then if you need our help, if you say, yeah, I don't like the way these numbers look or whatever else, we can help you. We can give you some advice and put together a defined plan for you. Or some people come in, they just say, listen, I know I'm not in the right place now. What I'd like to do is give you my information and then have you create a plan that works for me, right? Have you create a plan that is clear, and I'll make as much money as I'm making now and not pay too much in taxes. We can do that for you as well. So go ahead and click that link. Get your FRS blueprint. Doesn't cost you anything. It's going to take about 30 minutes of your time up front. We'll put together the report. We'll go ahead and do another Zoom meeting or phone meeting or in person if you need to meeting, and we'll deliver it to you. We'll walk you through it. We'll explain everything to you. And you should have this plan for yourself. So we look forward to talking to you. We look forward to giving you the FRS blueprint. I'm so excited to be able to show this to everybody. And I think it's going to be really good and really beneficial to all the great state employees and public employees out there. I really appreciate it. If you have any other questions or if you have any concerns, we'll talk about it on that call. Talk to you soon. Thanks. Bye.